In this exploration of the iconic giant called Godzilla, we delve into a detailed examination of a creature that has captivated experts and enthusiasts alike for decades. Our focus today is to analyze Godzilla through the lens of advanced scientific principles and technical insights. Unlike general fan discussions, this video script is designed for an expert-level audience, incorporating rigorous fact-driven analysis and deep technical details that are supported by numerical evidence and biological, physical, and technological scrutinies. We will embark on a journey that spans the historical evolution of Godzilla, from its cinematic origins to its modern depictions, exploring both the aesthetic and allegorical developments over time. In addition, we will extract the structural and biomechanical peculiarities of such a colossal being, incorporating scaling laws and energy expenditure models consistent with fundamental physics standards. Our discussion will engage with complex topics regarding evolutionary feasibility, ecological impact, and advanced defense strategies that current technologies might use when hypothetically confronting a kaiju. Through this analysis, we aim to provide a balanced view that is both scientifically robust and technically detailed, offering insights that are both cutting-edge and approachable. Prepare for a voyage into a theoretical realm where fantasy meets scientific scrutiny. Godzilla's origins trace back to a period marked by profound post-war introspection and technological anxiety, emerging from Japanese cinema in the 1950s. The initial portrayal was not merely a monster movie, but a metaphor for nuclear devastation and the subsequent struggle to reconcile with rapid modernization. Early films strategically integrated real-time geopolitical tensions, setting a precedent for realistic narrative frameworks rooted in tangible scientific and historical concerns. Over subsequent decades, Godzilla's design evolved in direct response to both advances in film technology and shifts in public sentiment regarding environmental and political crises. The creature transformed from a singular symbol of nuclear catastrophe to a multifaceted figure reflecting complex themes of nature, industrialization, and global responsibility. Detailed analyses of frame rates, special effects innovations, and behind-the-scenes engineering reveal a meticulous evolution process that paralleled advancements in digital modeling and mechanical simulation. With each new iteration, filmmakers embedded increasingly sophisticated references to the principles of biomechanics and atmospheric physics, suggesting that even cinematic portrayals observe a semblance of scientific realism. Archival interviews with creators provide numerical data regarding set dimensions, scale ratios, and budget allocations, further reinforcing Godzilla's dual narrative as both entertainment and an allegory steeped in empirical observation. The evolution of Godzilla thus mirrors shifts in scientific paradigms, reflecting evolving public debates over sustainability, energy consumption, and the limits of biological adaptation. This historical journey not only charts the cultural impact of the kaiju, but also serves as a fascinating case study in the interplay between technological progress and narrative art. This evolution was marked by careful attention to scientific details that even extended into the realm of theoretical physics. Meticulous restoration of classic frames now allows for laboratory precision in examining each film's depiction of scale, motion, and energy transfer. This historical insight remains invaluable. Indeed, the legacy endures. Examining Godzilla's physical attributes necessitates an in-depth look at a creature whose sheer dimensions defy conventional biological limits. Typically depicted as towering over urban skylines, Godzilla's height is frequently represented as exceeding 100 meters, with a mass estimated in the range of several tens of thousands of tons. The scale of its body invokes principles of geometric scaling, where volume increases with the cube of linear dimensions, thereby imposing extreme demands on skeletal and muscular structures. Detailed biomechanical analyses suggest that if Godzilla were to exist, its bone density and muscle fiber composition would require significant modifications compared to terrestrial vertebrates. Additionally, its serpentine, armored skin represents a complex composite of hyperdense keratin and mineralized tissues, offering both protection and flexibility under massive physical stresses. Godzilla's ability to emit atomic breath is another focal point of its distinctive powers. Emitting a concentrated beam of high-energy radiation, This feature is modeled analogously to directed energy weapons, but operating with uncontrolled nuclear fusion reactions within a biological framework. Advanced calculations indicate that the energy output required for such an attack would be on the order of several gigajoules per second, corresponding to the explosive force of conventional thermonuclear devices. Regenerative capabilities, another hallmark of Godzilla's design, would demand exceptional cellular repair mechanisms, potentially analogous to hyper-efficient versions of known biological processes such as those observed in certain amphibians and reptiles, albeit amplified exponentially. Comparatively, other colossal creatures in cinematic lore often lack the intricate integration of physics and biology evident in Godzilla's design. Whereas alternative kaiju may serve purely symbolic roles, Godzilla's detailed physical and power dynamics have been subject to quantitative modeling in academic discussions. Such analyses merge fields of material science, nuclear physics, and biomechanics, providing a framework in which the creature's attributes can be rigorously examined. The fusion of theoretical physics with imaginative design underscores a nuanced approach to visual storytelling, where every muscle fiber and radiant pulse is imbued with a semblance of scientific plausibility. Overall, this multifaceted examination offers an insightful perspective on how cinematic giants traverse the boundary between fantasy and biomechanical possibility. Further simulations and computational models have been employed to analyze stress distributions and thermodynamic balances in Godzilla's form. Researchers utilize finite element analysis to predict fracture points and evaluate recuperation cycles, yielding data that inform approximations of realistic kaiju mechanics. The integration of nuclear kinetics with biomechanical resilience bridges cinematic fantasy and science. Delving into the scientific principles that govern massive creatures, we consider both physics and biology. Starting with geometric scaling laws, the square-cube law is a fundamental principle which indicates that as an organism's size increases, its mass grows faster than its supporting surface area. This phenomenon creates significant challenges for weight-bearing structures, as stresses on bones and connective tissues increase exponentially with size. Detailed finite element models demonstrate that if a creature such as Godzilla were scaled up from typical terrestrial animals, its skeletal framework would require either radically altered material properties or an unconventional structural design to avoid catastrophic failure. From a biological perspective, metabolic rate and nutrient transport become exponentially more demanding. The circulatory system, for example, would have to adapt to maintain efficient oxygen transport across vast distances within the body. Comparisons with the physiology of large animals like whales reveal that even these giants have evolved specialized adaptations. However, extrapolating such features to a creature of Godzilla's magnitude introduces extreme anomalies that challenge natural selection. Analysis of energy consumption reveals that sustaining metabolic functions in a behemoth would necessitate an energy intake several orders of magnitude greater than what is observed in known species, necessitating either an unprecedented ecological niche or synthetic energy assimilation mechanisms. Furthermore, studies in thermodynamics illustrate that heat dissipation would be a critical issue. As body mass increases, the ratio of volume to surface area changes, making efficient thermoregulation challenging under the constraints of biological tissue. Advanced computer simulations using coupled differential equations have modeled these challenges, suggesting that even minor deviations in heat transfer coefficients could dramatically amplify internal temperatures. It is also important to note that biological repair systems usually operate at rates constrained by molecular kinetics, casting doubt on the possibility of near-instantaneous recuperative abilities. Integrating principles from biomechanics, fluid dynamics, and thermodynamics, researchers have constructed theoretical models that push the limits of current understanding, while also highlighting the extraordinary adaptations required for a creature to survive at such an extreme scale. Recent interdisciplinary studies combine data from paleobiology and astrophysics to explore the theoretical upper limits of organismal size in various gravitational fields. These investigations suggest that, under optimal conditions and with revolutionary biological modifications, the energy conversion and biomechanical efficiency might be enhanced. Yet, such conditions remain purely hypothetical when applied to the realm of terrestrial life. These models further redefine limits of size and energy efficiency. Evaluating the hypothetical realism of a creature like Godzilla involves bridging the gap between established scientific laws and speculative evolutionary trajectories. To begin, extensive mathematical modeling of biological scaling suggests that the enormous size attributed to Godzilla is inherently problematic due to the limitations imposed by gravity and cellular architecture. Organisms require an optimal balance between body mass and resource delivery. In a creature at Godzilla's scale, even minute inefficiencies in oxygen diffusion or energy metabolism could prove fatal. Quantitative simulations indicate that the mechanical stresses experienced by bone and tissue would necessitate revolutionary modifications, possibly involving nanostructured biological materials or bioengineered support systems far beyond those currently observed in nature. Environmental sustainability also poses significant challenges. A creature of such mass would demand an ecological niche capable of providing energy inputs several orders of magnitude higher than typical apex predators. Calculations based on trophic efficiency reveal that sustaining a Godzilla-scale converter of energy would require planetary ecosystems to operate at optimal efficiency, or alternative energy sources would need to be harnessed, perhaps through symbiotic relationships with geothermal or radioactive elements. Moreover, evolutionary pressure typically favors energy conservation. Thus, the metabolic costs associated with maintaining an organism of such extraordinary size remain a critical barrier. Alternative theoretical frameworks have been proposed whereby such entities might exist under modified physical conditions, such as on planets with lower gravitational acceleration or in ecosystems with entirely different biochemical foundations. While these hypotheses offer intriguing possibilities, they diverge sharply from conditions on Earth. Advanced simulation techniques employing coupled nonlinear dynamic equations further illustrate that the gap between Godzilla's legendary capabilities and the constraints of known biology is vast. Despite these challenges, theoretical models in astrobiology suggest that under rare and exceptionally favorable conditions, life might evolve toward unparalleled scales. Nonetheless, the existence of a Godzilla-like creature remains highly unlikely given current scientific understanding, though it continues to serve as a powerful symbol for exploring the limits of biological and ecological possibility. These hypotheses, while stimulating academic debate, underscore the vast disparity between theoretical constructs and practical biological evolution on Earth. In essence, the balance of physics, energy, and evolutionary adaptation creates a formidable barrier, rendering the real-world emergence of a Godzilla-like titan an extraordinary improbability. Conclusion is supported by robust evidence. Examining modern technological capabilities in the context of countering a creature like Godzilla, we begin by evaluating existing defense strategies, both conventional and experimental in nature. Contemporary military research encompasses directed energy systems, unmanned robotic platforms, and AI-driven strategic simulations, each designed to mitigate threats through rapid response and disruptive force. Detailed computational models have assessed the interface between high-velocity projectiles and thick, composite bioarmors, yielding insights into potential weak points that could be exploited in a theoretical engagement. In parallel, engineering studies have proposed the use of advanced materials, such as carbon nanotube composites and graphene-enhanced alloys, which offer exceptional strength-to-weight ratios and energy dissipation properties. These materials, while primarily the subject of academic and defense research, may one day contribute to the construction of counter-Kaiju fortifications and adaptive camouflage systems. Additionally, developments in quantum computing and neural network optimization are beginning to be integrated into battlefield simulations, allowing for the rapid synthesis of novel defense tactics in real time. The interplay between theoretical innovation and practical application is particularly evident in the field of electromagnetism, where directed energy weapons are being refined to achieve unprecedented precision and power output. Preliminary designs suggest that controlled plasma discharges could, in theory, be scaled to levels sufficient to disrupt the biological functions of titanic organisms. Moreover, multidisciplinary initiatives suggest that future defense architectures may be predicated on a synthesis of robotics, cybernetics, and advanced sensor arrays, collectively orchestrated by artificial intelligence. This convergence of technologies, supported by rigorous field testing and simulation-based analysis, represents the frontier of defense strategy in an era defined by rapid technological evolution. Research teams are experimenting with virtual reality war games and augmented intelligence systems that simulate Kaiju encounters, thereby refining response protocols and strategic mappings for scenarios that, while unlikely, push the boundaries of defense theory. Godzilla's cultural and symbolic impact is profound, transcending the realm of simple cinema to become a reference point in discussions of environmental degradation, technological progress, and post-war societal anxieties. Beyond its status as a cinematic monster, Godzilla represents a multifaceted metaphor, a manifestation of nature's uncontrollable force, a critique of unchecked technological advancement, and an embodiment of national trauma. Detailed analyses reveal that early portrayals of Godzilla were embedded with socio-political commentary, while more recent iterations have embraced themes of ecological balance and humanity's precarious relationship with technology. Scholars have conducted statistically rigorous studies correlating Godzilla's film releases with periods of significant economic and environmental change, suggesting that the creature's evolution mirrors the shifting priorities and fears of society at large. Moreover, Godzilla has inspired a range of derivative media, from anime and comic books to high-impact video games, each reinterpreting its mythos through contemporary scientific and cultural lenses. This continuous reinvention reflects a broader dialogue regarding the role of technology in both national defense and ecological preservation. In expert discussions, Godzilla frequently serves as a catalyst for debates on ethics in scientific research and responsibilities in technological development. The underlying themes of chaos versus order and natural evolution versus engineered progression resonate deeply within academic circles, making Godzilla a powerful symbol of both caution and potential. Its legacy endures as a subject of study in both the humanities and applied sciences, highlighting the intricate interplay between culture, technology, and the environment. This enduring influence continues to shape global creative narratives. In summary, the examination of Godzilla through advanced scientific and engineering perspectives yields a fascinating convergence of cinema, technology, and theoretical biology. By dissecting historical evolution, physical attributes, and extraordinary abilities, we uncovered the intricate balance between imaginative narrative and stringent scientific principles. The multifaceted portrayal of Godzilla not only mirrors evolving cultural and ecological concerns, but also challenges our understanding of biomechanical scalability and energy dynamics. Our comprehensive analysis has addressed fundamental principles such as the square-cube law, metabolic constraints, and thermal regulation, each of which plays a critical role in evaluating the plausibility of an organism of such magnitude. The interplay between nuclear physics and regenerative biology further illustrates the expansive realm of possibilities and limitations. Advanced computational models and finite element analyses provide a numerical backbone that reinforces the notion that certain aspects of Godzilla's design could, if re-engineered, align with scientific realities in a modified context. Yet, a creature embodying both colossal scale and atomic power remains a synthesis of fiction and speculative extrapolation rather than a probable existence. Moreover, the discussion of modern defense strategies has illuminated the evolving technological responses that, while primarily theoretical, emphasize the progressive integration of robotics, materials science, and AI-driven simulations into practical defense frameworks. These advancements showcase how creative narratives stimulate scientific inquiry and inspire realistic engineering innovations. Ultimately, Godzilla stands as an emblem of the formidable challenges at the intersection of biological scaling and modern technology. Our exploration reaffirms that while the existence of a real-world Zilla is exceedingly unlikely, the creature continues to serve as a catalyst for interdisciplinary discussion and innovation, symbolizing the perpetual quest for understanding the boundaries of nature and engineering. This analysis invites us to appreciate both the limitations and the inspirational power embedded within our cinematic and scientific imaginations.